I've got a question for you right now.
Yeah.
Is that the best two-legged game ever?
I would imagine so, unless your team was in one of them that your emotions got way above you. But from a neutral, absolutely, that was sensational. And I'll bring this to you. We're both forwards, weren't we? I'm not having that penalty, by the way. I know I'm in a minority. I'm not having it. He gets the ball. I'm sorry. For me, I was astounded when everyone said, "Oh yeah, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. A penalty." I think if you get a centre half on there, they'll say, no, he got the ball. And I think he got the ball first.
I know. I know it's a tough one, but I tell you what, Al. I mean, I was lucky enough to be at the first game in Barcelona, and I sat and watched that last night. I've got to say to you, mate, I don't think I've seen a better, whatever it was, 180 plus 32 in 10 minutes, whatever it was. It was unbelievable, mate. It was absolutely phenomenal, the quality of goals. The only thing we'd say, you could argue, and it's a crazy thing to say because normally Italians are involved, the defending's absolutely spot on. You could maybe nitpick a little bit about the defending over the two games.
And Barcelona can say we're naive. And you've got to say they were naive. When they get the noses in front, you think, that's it. Just keep the ball, because the possession they had was phenomenal.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say you couldn't believe it when Inter Milan scored right on the final whistle, but then there was a kind of inevitability about it, the way that game was going. It was always going to head to extra time. I just thought it was amazing. Absolutely amazing, mate. The young boy over the two games as well. What about him, Al?
Superstar. Even now, I know he's going to get better. I think he's a superstar.
No, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you, and he will get better. But his feet, and you know what you say. You normally double up on them. You'll get the wide man coming back, the wide midfielder, the wide person coming back to help the fullback. That doesn't bother him. He takes the two of them on, mate. It's unbelievable.
He's also
I think we've got a good game today. How do you?
I'm coming to that. Sorry, but he's also got that Cruyff acceleration. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he gets it, and he's got a little glimpse of space in behind the foot, whoosh! There's no catching him, by the way. So to your question, tonight, I'm hoping Arsenal get a goal early doors. I think it's going to be a great game as well. Arsenal, it's going to be really interesting to see how Arteta plays this. Does he try and be patient? They don't have to go and get an early one, but I'd love them to try and take it to Paris. I would.
I'm with you, mate, because I think the risk of sitting back and letting them have the ball could come back to haunt you. I think they're one of these teams, if you let them dominate you, they will dominate you. I know Liverpool, the irony is, I was at the Liverpool game here, Al, and they absolutely annihilated Liverpool, battered them, and I know Liverpool won the game, right, but a late Harvey Elliott goal, and then they did the same to Aston Villa. If you sit back and let them have possession of the ball, they'll keep it all day and they'll kill you and pick you off.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal have got to have a little bit of a go, and I know it runs the risk of leaving them open, and their forwards are incredible, whether it's Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, all these guys, but I just think it's the kind of lesser of two evils. I think they've got to have a go.
Ali, you know, we talk about
wasn't it just
a toe or a half a boot size offside, you know, Rafinha, when the ball comes back to him and he blasts it in, there's a Barcelona player on the line, isn't there? And that doesn't count as offside. You know, it's this weird rule now.
Well, it's amazing. But do you know the Barcelona player, I can't remember which one it was actually, he does really well because
to get away.
I think the natural instinct to stick
you'd have stuck your leg out, wouldn't you?
I think the majority of centre forwards would. Do you know what I mean? Just natural instinct. But he does well. He pulls his foot away, and if clearly he's not interfering with the goalkeeper, so they give the goal.
Amazing.
But dear me, mate, what a game! What a game!
So will that surely go down as one of the greatest ever Champions League semi-finals? Talking about both legs here. Inter surrendered a 2-goal lead and then came back from 3-2 down to book the place in Munich at the end of May. Don't forget. Inter will find out their opponents tonight as PSG and Arsenal face off in their semi-final second leg. The Gunners needing the 1-0 down, don't forget, from the first leg. And the Barcelona manager reacted to his side's astonishing defeat. This, of course, Hansi Flick, and revealed what he said to his players after the game.
I said to them, I know that everyone is disappointed, but we could be disappointed while we are out, because we invest a lot of this match and came back again, and I think some decisions were 50-50 always for Inter, but it's like that. And we have to accept it. It's football. And at the end, but we can be proud about our performance, and this was really, I'm proud. I'm proud of my team. We give everything, and this is sometimes it's like that. It's you feel a little bit unfair because I think some decision the referee made was really maybe not on our side, and but it's like that. Okay, we have to accept it, and we start again next season. Okay, to win the Champions League. This is one of our goal, and of course make the fans, because they support us here in this stadium, very good, and they also deserved it, and we will be back next season in the Champions League.
I think, Ali, what makes a great manager as well, look, he could have gone in there and gone ballistic. Naive, how did we throw that away? But they've got El Clasico at the weekend as well, at Barca Real Madrid, and that's a league decider. So, you've got to try and pick your players up, haven't you?
100%, mate. Absolutely 100%. I think he's right what he said. I think he's got to be proud of these players. The overriding factor, I know there was disappointment as well, but you'd hope the overriding factor would be proud of his team and proud of his players, the way they performed and the spectacle that they helped put on over the 2 games, as I say, was magnificent. And you're right, what he's got to do now is he's got to get them over the disappointment as quickly as possible. And you can argue it's maybe an excellent game for them, because it's a game where they can't hang about, they can't, think about, the previous, getting knocked out of the Champions League. They've got to focus on an opportunity, a brilliant opportunity to win the league.
So what about tonight's game, Arsenal or PSG? The players would have watched that last night. Are they happy? PSG players and Arsenal players that Inter have knocked Barca out?
I know. It's crazy. I know exactly what you're saying. Crazy thing to say, but I actually do agree with you. I do. I definitely think the Arsenal and the PSG players would rather play at Milan, and I don't know. I really don't know why I'm saying that, but I just do. I just think they would rather play at Milan than play Barcelona. Although they maybe look at Barcelona and say, look, defensively we can get at them, we could do this, but I just think the front, the attacking players of Barcelona would make you rather play Inter Milan. I mean, I don't know whether you agree with it or not, and it's maybe a crazy thing to say, because you'd rather play the team that get knocked out effectively or Inter Milan. But it's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one. I just think the front 3 of Barcelona and even Arsenal, I just think they would rather play Inter Milan than Barcelona. I don't know what you think yourself.
Well, Arsenal fans, let's hear from you this morning. You could be facing either Inter Milan in the Champions League if you can win tonight and knock out PSG. How confident are you feeling, and would it be your greatest ever European night? If you're knocked out, what do you make of the season then if you're knocked out? What do you make of Mikel? You look at the table now and you think, just went out like a damp squid, didn't he? But look, there's a great chance here. Can you do it tonight? And are you happy that it's not Barcelona that are in the finals, Inter Milan? 03717 223344. The lines are open.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.